What is up? Hope you guys are having a wonderful evening. Back with some more Resident Evil Reverse gameplay for you. And I'll be honest, I have not played this game in about 2 weeks pretty much, ever since I hit the 3500 rank. And I was just hoping, man, hopefully I don't muck it up too bad, because, as I said, these last 2 weeks I've been playing Dead Space Remake, and I just finished platinuming it, and you can check out some of my videos, like my review, or how to do the impossible move. You want some videos in that, as well as how to get the alternate ending. But that's what I've been doing the last 2 weeks, and obviously I needed a break from playing this game, because it's getting a little bit tedious now, and I know they had another quote-unquote maintenance, so nothing really changed for this game. It looks like it's kind of implying more that they're kind of abandoning this thing and they're going to move on, but maybe I can be proven wrong, but that's not even going to be the topic of this video. Obviously I'm playing Jill for a reason, because you know, the funniest thing about this whole thing is, yesterday I was on the Resident Evil Reddit, and someone was going there to see if they have anything interesting people talking about or something funny or whatnot, but I saw someone write a topic and basically was saying, why has Jill never appeared in any CGI movie or TV series for that matter? And not getting into the reasons why, because that's not the important part here. Someone eventually commented that, hey, you know what? After what they did to Claire in Infinite Darkness and Rebecca in Vendetta, is that really a bad thing? And I'm basically 100% agree, because if you don't know what I'm talking about there, yeah, they were done really, really dirty. They were just treated like obscene side characters, the way Capcom treated them with that. But nonetheless, we flash forward to today, and just out of nowhere, they had a trailer for the next CGI movie of Resident Evil, which I've never heard of. I think it's the first time anyone had heard of it, called Resident Evil Death Island. And the first 25 seconds of it, I was just like, yep, your typical Resident Evil CGI movie. You have Chris, you have Leon, why would I think any otherwise? And they're here to do something on Alcatraz Island, and I saw some zombies, which was cool. I did like the underwater, it looks like underwater liquors, or I don't know what they're doing there, but that's definitely interesting. But I was like, basically, yep, this stuff I've already seen over again. Didn't really care too much. You know me, I'm not too big on the CGI movies or the show for that matter. But then we get to the last second of the trailer, and it finally happens. And when I saw Jill, you know how you envision how you react if you saw your favorite sports team for the first time win a championship in your life? You figure, I'll be screaming and yelling and hollering. But when it happens, you're kind of just silent, because you're just trying to process it, and you're just trying to come to the realization that, well, I guess it finally happened, but you're just kind of really quiet. Well, that's how I explained this situation. When I finally saw her, I was just like, yeah, they actually did. They put her in there. Wow. Didn't know that was that difficult to do, but my God, they actually finally did it. But by doing it, I obviously wanted to check a lot of things, so I wanted to know, if it, the whole context of it. But after looking it up, because I heard a lot of people say, well, she obviously looks like her Resident Evil 3 self. So when does this take place? And I've learned this takes place after Vendetta. So Vendetta takes place after Resident Evil 6. So this is post Resident Evil 5, which is the first time we've seen Jill post Resident Evil 5. So, but some people are saying, well, maybe it's a flashback. But if you look at the very beginning of the trailer, and a lot of people had to point this out because I didn't see it for a while, but the very first scene where you see the jail cells and a long shot, the first two people in the front, one of them is obviously Chris and the other is Jill. So more than likely this is a shot in the current time of that movie. So it would be the first post Resident Evil 5 time we've actually seen Jill. And as I said, she's sporting a very similar Resident Evil 3 remake outfit and look. So I'm just thinking, well, wow, this is actually the first time. But once again, you know, I don't mean to curb enthusiasm. While I am happy to finally see them use Jill, but I go back to what I said earlier, to what the guys said online that I agree with. Do you really want to see Jill in one of these live CGI movies or CGI shows or whatnot after what they did to Rebecca and Claire? Because once again, before that last second trailer, everything about this thing screamed your typical thing. You know, you're going to have Leon and Chris be the main characters. They're going to do all the crazy fights and beat up hundreds of infected, whether with guns or their fists, and they're going to blow up everything. And then you just happen, until that last second, you just happen to have Jill in there. And also, it looks like Rebecca might be in there, because I said it's a direct sequel to Vendetta, and they had that like styrofoam cup that had Rebecca's name on it. So, but we'll see what happens there. But my point is that even in the synopsis, they go about, they start reading, they don't mention Jill at all. It's just Chris and Leon. And as I said, I'm happy to see Jill finally in one of these things, but I don't just want to be happy that, oh, she's in it, because that's not enough. My biggest problem is not just using her, but using her in something that makes sense, that's effective. I don't want her used in a way they used, how they treated Claire in Infinite Darkness or Rebecca in Vendetta. Jill's not she doesn't need to be a side character. She's a main character, okay? She's one of Resident Evil's greatest characters, and I do not want to see her bastardized or treated like shit, or to have some stupid plot where, she's there, but she really can't fight or do something, and she's just a nuisance and incompetent and can't do anything. Kind of like how they treat Claire and Rebecca in the other movies, and I hear all the people have the excuse, well, it's because X, Y. It's like, dude, how many excuses do you have to have for someone can't be shown to be competent? And I mean, Jill survived the mansion. She survived Raccoon City. She survived the Umbrella takeover in Europe. I believe that's the country. And whilst I played that, but she survived Resident Evil 5. Like, Jill's a survivor and she's a fighter. She's not some random civilian, and I don't care about the whole argument, oh, well, she's been in rehab. Like, how long has she been in rehab for? Like, 15 years now? Like, come on now, don't give me that bullshit excuse. You're trying to make her look pathetic for whatever reasons. As I said, I want to be proven wrong. I would love to be proven wrong, but until I see it, and with the history of Capcom, how they treated Jill, until I see it, it's hard for me to believe that they're going to show her to be cool and competent. Because I don't want a scene with her. I want a bunch of scenes, a bunch of good moments. I mean, how many times do we see Chris and Leon do all these insane things, but yet we can't even have one scene of like Claire doing something cool or Rebecca doing something cool. They're just there to get beat up and shown to be incompetent and useless, and basically to prop up Chris and Leon so that they do all the hard work and heavy lifting, basically making their appearance with Rebecca and Claire absolutely useless and a waste of time. And it just, that's the reason why I remain to be jaded, because it's like, until they prove me wrong, it's hard for me to think anything otherwise, especially when they have Chris and Leon in this adventure. But at least in this small 1 second thing, Jill is at least holding a weapon, because they remember the promotional poster in Infinite Darkness. Claire had the handgun and never used a gun the entire time in Infinite Darkness. And it's just like, oh my goodness. And then all the excuses. Well, they're really a civilian, yeah. And if they're really a civilian, how they survive Raccoon City again? Trust me, just because they're posing as a civilian doesn't mean they can't do shit. But, I guess they don't know how to do anything. But as I said, I'm sorry to sound jaded. As I said, I am happy to see Jill, but once again, I just don't want to be like, oh, we see Jill, that's all we need. No, we need more than that. That's not enough. You better be showing her taking names and whooping some ass, because how you treated her this past decade plus is there's just no excuse for that. And I really hope that it's more than just that. And she deserves to be one of the main characters and main things of this plot, and I hope she's not just there to just prop up Chris and Leon. And obviously another big thing is obviously the first time, well, if they do meet, because we're not confirming that, and we assume it, but this will also be the first time that Jill and Leon have ever met each other, so that should be a cool moment. It'd be cool if you had Claire in here too, but have the original four be on screen for the first time ever, but I guess the planets really have to align for that. It's like, to me, it's always baffled me. Why is it so taboo? But I don't know. Who knows? But as I said, this comes out in the summertime, so hopefully we'll know sooner rather than later. But just to be honest, just so you guys know me, I've never been big on a CGI movie. So even if they do kind of suck or not good, it's not going to change too much about how I feel. Because I'll be honest with you guys, I've never watched one of these CGI movies from beginning to end. I've seen bits and pieces of all of them, but at the end of the day, I've never been a big fan of them. To me, personally, I'd rather play a survival horror thing, not watch a survival horror thing. And I think these movies would be a lot better as games, and not like things you watch. This is something I feel personally. I don't want to watch. I just rather play. I'd rather experience for myself. Like, I'll give you an example. The whole cabin fight, you know, they had the whole Resident Evil 4 information from Game Informer, and they showed off the cabin fight. If you showed a whole cabin fight scene in like a gameplay, like a movie or something, you put the whole scene in like a movie, like a CGI movie, it's never going to be as effective as you actually playing it. It's going to be a lot more exhilarating playing it than just watching it for me. And that's just how I feel personally, so it's not like anything against it. But nonetheless, Jill is back. This is her first time seeing her in Resident Evil Post 5 content, so I am happy for that. I'm also happy that I was able to get 2 victories here in Reavers. You know, I haven't played for 2 weeks, so showing I still got it, but I am kind of getting tedious of this game. And with so many other things, I said we got Dead Space Remake just came out. I've enjoyed that, but let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Are you happy to see Jill, or are you cautiously optimistic? You wait to see what happens? Let me know down in the comment section below. And look, I finally got to rank 120, but that is going to be it. Hopefully you did enjoy this video, and hopefully I can see you guys back on the next one. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed the rest of your evening. I hope to see you all later. Peace.